We've got a Bengals news alert. Cincinnati has re-signed a familiar face, a former second-round pick. Welcome into the Bengals Breakdown by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson filling in today for Abby Alonso and Tom Downey. Now, Adam Schefter was the first one to break the news that the Bengals have re-signed free agent tight end Drew Sample to a one-year contract. So the former second-round pick out of Washington comes back for year number 5. Now, it's just a one-year contract. I haven't seen any of the money yet, but I think he's definitely competing for a roster spot as he comes off a really tough injury last season, and we're going to look at some stats and highlights later on, but he's never been very productive for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this is why you subscribe, though. Never miss any signings or any sort of rumor all off season long. We're almost at 2,000 subs. Let's get there sooner rather than later. Hit that sub button if you are looking for a go-to Bengals YouTube channel. Now, Drew Sample, like I mentioned, a second-round pick out of Washington 4 seasons ago, back in 2019, has unfortunately never been a very productive tight end and has never lived up to the expectations for a second-round pick. He comes off a torn ACL and injured MCL he suffered during the Cowboys game last season in Week 2. Now, in his career, he had a good sophomore campaign, right? 40 receptions, 349 yards, a bit of optimism to believe that he could build off that going into year 3. Instead, you saw his role and his spot on this team get dramatically reduced, and last year, an all-time stat line of 2 receptions for -2 yards. It's a bummer because of the injury, but Drew Sample has never been a very productive receiving threat tight end that the Bengals were hoping they were getting when they drafted him in the second round. Now let's welcome him back to Cincinnati, though, by spamming his jersey number 89. He's still got to make the 53-man roster. I don't think he's an absolute shoo-in, but let's give him a nice warm Cincinnati welcome. Spam his jersey number 89. Now, when I look at this depth chart, I'm going to tentatively put him in as tight end 2, but that is very much subject to change. In fact, even Irv Smith, that tight end 1, he's really just there because there's no one else there that could make more sense for the number 1 tight end spot. He has never really been able to stay healthy and be a productive guy for a full season. This is a big question mark for the Bengals going into the draft. Tight end, in my opinion, is a sneaky big need for Cincinnati. Now, the good news is this is one of the best tight end classes we have seen in quite some time. Usually the tight end class for the NFL draft, there's like 1, maybe 2 guys in round 2, but then there's not really a big difference between the 3rd round guys and the 5th round guys. This year, there are a lot of good 2nd and 3rd round players, and maybe even a 1st if a team really talks themselves into Michael Mayer from Notre Dame. Dalton Kincaid could also be a 1st round pick. Darnell Washington, I don't know where he's going to end up, but whichever team drafts him, they will be very happy with their choice. Luke Musgrave from Oregon State and Sam Lopata out of Iowa. All 5 really good tight ends, and I expect the Bengals to select one of them. Now, when it comes to Drew Sample, the name of the game for him is availability. One of my favorite sayings is, the best ability is availability. And unfortunately for Sample, that has not always been there throughout his career. It's going to be a tough road coming back from a major knee injury last season. Best of luck to him because you hate to see injuries cut careers short. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already. We keep you guys in the loop, all things Bengals related. Hit that sub button and we'll see everyone later.